Samuel Taylor Coleridge was an English poet, literary critic, philosopher, and theologian who, along with his friend William Wordsworth, was the founder of the Romantic movement in England. The poem begins by introducing the ancient mariner, who looks like a lunatic with his grey long beard, glittering eyes, and rough and skinny hands. He mesmerizes the wedding guest with his magnetic draw of his eyes, which is more powerful than his hands, which compels the guest to listen to him with the fascination of a 3-year-old child. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is one of the greatest creations of Coleridge, written in 1797 and published in 1798. Written in form of a ballad, the poem speaks about the mysterious tale of an old man's confession of an unusual crime. It is in 7 parts about a sailor who narrates a strange story to a guest at a wedding and holds him spellbound. On a dangerous voyage, years back, the ancient mariner had shot and killed an albatross who had come to their rescue. The other sailors on board thought that this would bring them bad luck, and therefore they forced the mariner to wear the dead albatross on a rope around his neck so that they will not be punished for his crime. The poem begins with an old grey-bearded sailor, the mariner, stopping a guest at a wedding ceremony to tell him the strange story of a sailing voyage he took long ago. The wedding guest is seen at first very reluctant to listen, as the ceremony had already begun, but the mariner's glittering eyes captivates him. The mariner began his strange tale by narrating that one day, years back, they sailed merrily on a ship out of the harbour. Below the kirk, below the hill, below the lighthouse top, and into a sunny, cheerful sea. Meanwhile, the sound of the bassoon, drifting from the direction of the wedding, interrupted the mariner. The wedding guest became restless as he imagined the bride entering the hall. But he was completely helpless, unable to tear himself from the mariner's story. The mariner then recalled that the voyage quickly darkened as a giant storm, tyrannous and strong, struck the ship with its overtaking wings and chased the ship southward. The ship, like a retreating enemy with sloping masts and dipping prow, was pushed into a frigid land of mist and snow, where ice, mast high, as green as emerald, came floating by. The ship was then hemmed inside this maze of ice in the wondrous cold, with no shapes of men or beasts. The sailors were astounded when the ice suddenly cracked and growled, roared and howled. They saw at length an albatross coming out of the fog. As it flew around the ship, the ice cracked and split, and a wind from the south propelled the ship out of the frigid region into a foggy stretch of water. The sailors hailed it in God's name. Every day, for 9 vespers, the albatross came to the mariner's hollow for food and play. But however, the ancient mariner one day shot and killed the albatross impulsively with his crossbow committing a heinous crime. The theme of the poem is retribution. It's about the seafarer shooting and killing an albatross and paying the price of his curse. The moral of the ballad is to appreciate all forms of life, and to develop this theme, Coleridge utilizes extensive imagery and symbolism to punish the mariner for his crime.